We are starting to see some great games come back to the map, but this is one of the coolest I've ever seen.
Operation Desert Storm
is a pretty cool strategy game.
Bungie's first commercial product.
Minotaur Labyrinth of Crete.
It's an exclusively network multiplayer game. It sells a modest 2,500 copies.
This game is going to ship early next year from Bungie.
Pathways is Bungie's first hit.
Pathways into Darkness would be Bungie's first game to make a profit off total sales.
Their first-person shooter.
The game would be the third best-selling game in the first half of the year.
Sales reached 7 figures.
It would even go as far as to win awards,
with Macworld magazine proclaiming it RPG of the Year.
And this is the first time anybody has ever seen it. It's the first time they've debuted it.
Marathon.
It's a first-person shooter for Macintosh,
and it's a hugely innovative release.
One of the first surprises of Marathon is the inclusion of a well-structured and detailed story.
What really set this game apart from the rest is its story.
And so I'm very happy to welcome on the stage Jason Jones, who is the co-founder of Bungie.
Myth, the Fallen Lords.
The Myth series is a hidden gem. Myth is a strategy game series started by Bungie in 1997 on the PC and Mac.
The Myth was a revolution.
This is very different than any other strategy game out there. The Fallen Lords and Myth 2 Soulblighter were made by Bungie and received excellent reviews.
And we're going to see, for the first time,
holy jeez. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Microsoft's development team, Bungie, provides the must-have game for the season.
Halo Combat Evolved.
It pushed boundaries, exceeded expectations, demanded attention, and captured something vital to the human spirit at its core.
A game that influenced every shooter that came out after it. Halo 1 is truly one of the greatest games of all time.
It was an instant classic. A game so influential, it created a multi-billion-dollar franchise, revolutionized the FPS genre, and is credited as being the biggest reason why Microsoft was able to grab a foothold in the video game industry.
Halo changed the way people played shooters.
Halo felt incredible.
It's a game that welcomed casual players with open arms, but had the depth to entertain the hardcore enthusiast.
Halo also revolutionized local couch co-op, giving us the feature of connecting up to 4 Xboxes together in a system link.
World, the gameplay, the vehicles, the music, and the amazing multiplayer that made Halo's presence impossible to ignore.
13 games, 65 million copies sold, over 20 novels, and so on.
Always one of the most eagerly awaited video games finally goes on sale.
Preparing to rewrite retail history.
Video game is expected to have bigger first-day revenues than any movie has ever had an opening day at the box office.
Biggest retail launch in entertainment history.
Dozens of grown men and probably about 3 women have crawled out of their parents' basements tonight to be first in line to buy the new video game Halo 2.
Holy shit. Halo 2 weapon!
video gamers across the country are anxiously awaiting the midnight release of a game called Halo 2.
45 minutes and counting for Halo 2 to go on sale.
The line right now is probably about 100 yards long.
It is the most anticipated game in entertainment history.
Halo 2 sold 2.4 million units in 24 hours.
After reinventing the console FPS with Combat Evolved, Bungie would make a game that somehow managed to make its monumental predecessor look tiny in comparison. That game is Halo 2.
Halo 2 was an event, a legitimate phenomenon that extended beyond gaming and captured the attention of the public at large.
Halo 2's campaign is much more cinematic than Combat Evolves.
It popularized online gaming for consoles and created much of the back end of what would become skill-based matchmaking as we know it.
The multiplayer was somehow deeper and more addictive than its predecessor. Halo 2 expanded on Combat Evolved's multiplayer in nearly every aspect.
It's the most satisfying aspect of the game. And simply put, this is one of the best multiplayer shooter experiences around right now.
Added vehicle hijacking, vehicle destruction, ghost boosting, hidden skulls, and dual wielding.
Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
Halo 3 was released on September 25th, 2007, to overwhelming critical and commercial success.
Halo 3 is widely regarded as the highest point of Halo and the highest point of Bungie as a developer.
Within the first 24 hours of the game's release, the game had sold $170 million worth of the game. Halo 3 would later go on to sell 14.5 million copies by 2012.
Halo 3 is a must-have.
Halo 3's combat and variety of locations and arenas is excellent.
And the general gameplay and the whole feel of the environment is just tremendous.
Special rewards for unique in-game plays, file share, infinite possibilities with custom games, and online campaign co-op.
Halo 3 ODST was released for Xbox 360 in September 2009.
Overall, ODST was considered a positive experience by bringing a new perspective to the series, having a brand new firefight mode, and having new challenges to chase such as the Vidmaster challenges that span across Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST.
Halo 3 ODST is a lot of fun, and I would recommend it to any fans of the Halo franchise.
Do yourself a favor and go pick this one up.
This is the definitive Halo made by the people who created Halo.
Halo Reach released to selling $200 million worth of copies.
Masterful level design from the previous Halo games was brought back.
The weapons feel more satisfying, the enemy AI is as smart as ever, the game is action-packed and full of intense moments.
This game was the culmination of nearly 9 years of video game development, world building and storytelling.
It retained that Halo feeling, and the communal atmosphere was absolutely still present.
Okay, biggest news of the day right here. Leaked materials provided to IGN by a reader have revealed the first story details and concept art.
I'm about to show you 3
Bungie's
gorgeous new pieces of Destiny concept art
from
Game Informer Magazine's April edition.
In November of 2012, concept art and plot elements of Destiny had leaked for the first time on the internet.
The creators of Halo have signed a massive worldwide deal with Activision Blizzard. The mega publisher will release Bungie Software's next big franchise across multiple platforms for the next 10 years.
In April 2010, after leaving Microsoft because they were too controlling, intrusive, and stifled their creative freedom, They signed an exclusive 10-year deal with motherfucking Activision.
Joseph Staten, design director and co-creator of both the Halo and Destiny franchises, is leaving Bungie after 15 years.
Oh my fucking god.
Marty O'Donnell tweeted today stating that Bungie's board of directors terminated him without cause on April the 11th, 2014.
That's it?
Destiny put earn a 75 on Metacritic.
It feels like they held back a little bit too much on features at launch.
Many praised its gunplay, but stressed about its lack of content.
Feels half done. It almost feels like it was designed to be as bare bones as possible so that they could fill in the blanks later with DLC and updates.
It turns out that Destiny had next to no story on release because the original draft was initially rejected, then chopped up to be sold as DLC.
Son of a bitch!
A decision that compelled Bungie's lead writer, the legendary Joseph Staten, to leave the company in 2013.
Destiny earns a 6 out of 10.
Bungie then proceeded to fire one of the most notable composers in gaming, Marty O'Donnell. In fact, his firing was so baseless that he went on to win a lawsuit against Bungie for wrongful termination. It also offered a full in-game real money store in the form of Eververse.
Bungie put a majority of the new items into the Eververse.
Son of a bitch!
You have a paid DLC, and most of the content in that paid DLC is locked behind another paywall. Leveling up and customization in Destiny 2 is so bare bone. Bungie has adopted a business model of overpriced, extremely low-effort content. That is what the Destiny franchise is.
Finally announced that their partnership, after nearly 10 years, is coming to an end.
That Bungie is now becoming an independent studio and that Activision and Bungie are going their separate ways.
Bungie signed a $100 million deal with NetEase in order to work on a new IP.
It seems that Bungie has partnered with one of China's biggest publishers to help them create their next game.
Halo, Destiny, Myth, and Marathon. Bungie's legacy.